Wake up. All right. I want to talk about 10 songs that we all love. Okay? But some of us may not want to admit it, or at least we all loved at one point in time, or we love in a way. All right? Some of us might not want to admit it, but we all love these songs one way or another deep down. All right? And maybe I'm part of that group. Maybe I don't want to admit it on some, or didn't want to admit it in the past. But I'm admitting it now, and you folks have to admit it to yourselves. All right? Remember, the first step to solving an issue is to admit it's a problem to yourself. 10 songs we all love, but might be afraid or ashamed to admit. All right? Number 1, God Bless America by Lee Greenwood. Hey, it makes you proud to be an American. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's called, I'm proud to be an American. But, you know, the real title of that song is God Bless America by Lee Greenwood Chevrolet. No, I'm just kidding. But Lee Greenwood, big hit song, came out in 1984. And I will leave a link to each one of these songs down in the description. Number 2, Daydream Believer by the Monkees from 1968. You know? Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean? You know, I really don't know what the song's about. I haven't given it that much thought, but we all have liked it one way or another. Admit it. Admit it. I have. I'm trying to get better. Number 3, You Make It Feel Like Christmas by Neil Diamond. This, came out in 1984, and there is another song and Christmas album by Gwen Stefani from 2017 of this same title, You Make It Feel Like Christmas. But I'm not talking about her song or her album, her Christmas-themed album from 2017. I'm not talking about Gwen Stefani. I'm talking about the great Neil Diamond, folks. You Make It Feel Like Christmas. You know you like the song. You know you've liked it in at least one way or another deep down. And there it is. Okay, number 4, Hot and Her by Nelly. Come on, admit it. Everybody likes the song in one way or another. Hot and Her by Nelly from his second album, Nellyville, came out in 2002. Spring of 2002, I believe. All right? And that's another song that we all love or have loved, at one time or another, or still love a little bit deep down, or at least really like, okay? But we got to get somewhere, one step at a time. You do kind of like it. And then maybe we can move on to, yeah, I love that song in a way. Just saying. Okay. Hot in Here, sometimes called It's Getting Hot in Here, you know the rest, by Nelly from 2002. Number 5, Can't Stop Loving You by Van Halen. And that's the Van Halen with Sam Hagar. All right, it's off their album Balance. It came out in 1995, and Balance is an underrated album. It's solid. What do you got? The Seventh Seal, Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do on there, Amsterdam, Deja Vu, and that came out in 1995. Can't Stop Loving You by Van Halen. Okay, that's number 5 on the songs that we all love, but maybe we don't want to admit or admit it to ourselves, or admit it in certain groups. All right? Or at least have loved at one point in time. Remember, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never have loved at all. Okay. Number 6, Billie Jean, by Mike Jackson, you know, came out in 1983, early 1983. I mean, you know, the drum beat and the bass line and that is infectious as, you know, anything, and addictive as heroin. I don't take heroin and I don't suggest it. But I'm just saying, it is infectious. We all love that beat, that bass line, and that song in one way or another, or have at least loved it at one time, or at least really like it deep down. Okay, Billie Jean from 1983. And that song was based on, you know, a real situation. When Michael Jackson was with the Jackson 5, a lot of the groupies used to, you know, write them letters or claim that they had kids of theirs. And it was kind of based on one that kept writing Mike Jackson, telling him that, you know, they had a kid together and blah, 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 from the Jackson 5, okay? But that's another story altogether. 1983, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson off his mega album, Thriller, okay? Now, number 7, Staying Alive, the Bee Gees. Hey, come on, let's admit it. Another infectious groove beat, the whole 9 yards, bass line. The Bee Gees from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack in 1977. You know, you have either liked that song, kind of liked it, really liked it, love it, or still love it in a way deep down. You know, maybe like your first love. But this is for 10 different things, and they're 10 songs. Okay, the Bee Gees. Staying Alive from 1977. You know, it kind of became their signature song, but they have many. You know, many. But that is probably their signature song. Okay, number 8. A little bit of a hidden gem here, folks, but you know you love it. I know I do. Shining Star by the Manhattans. Shining Star by the Manhattans. Came out in 1980. February of 1980. And the Manhattans were an R&B group that isn't mentioned a whole lot. Kind of R&B, a little soul, but mostly R&B group. And Shining Star is a wonderful tune. Check it out. Remember, songs are in the description. And by the way, you know, you might want to subscribe and like this video if you would. And next on the list, 9, Achy Breaky Heart, Billie Cyrus from 1992. March of 1992 it was released, and I remember it. It wasn't written by Billy Ray Cyrus. It was written by a guy named, I think, Don Tress in 1990. And then there was another group that did the song, and it was called Don't Tell My Heart. And that group is called the Macy Brothers. Well, he recorded and released the song in 1992. It's his signature song. I mean, you know the story with it. Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus from 1992. And that's number 9. Number 10, Meatloaf. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Now, this wasn't going to go on the list because you shouldn't have to. Nobody should coax you to admit you love this song. All right? But maybe there's some of you out there. But in one way or another, we all love that song. We all love the story. And that's from 1977. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. From the classic album, Bad Out of Hell. You know, it's Meatloaf's biggest, you know, ballad. It's kind of a power ballad. And, you know, the song has a special spot in each and every one of our hearts, whether you like to admit it or not. But I have, and I'm getting better. I'm getting better because of that. Anyway, that song wasn't written by Meatloaf. Jim Steinman wrote all of Bat Out of Hell. And also Bat Out of Hell 2, and then like Back into Hell, and then, you know, Bat Out of Hell, The Monster is Loose, and like 2006. Jim Steinman for Meatloaf, wrote all of those songs. And he's also written for like Air Supply, Barry Manilow. He's a composer, he's a writer, and he actually took the concept for the one of the greatest albums of all time, Bat Out of Hell, in which 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad is from, you know, in 1977, that was released, and he actually took the concept for Bat Out of Hell from a musical called Neverland, and then he wrote all of Meatloaf's stuff. I think he wrote every song on that album, and, you know, the songs on his other albums, and he's written for a number of people, Jim Steinman. And that's the 10, folks. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like it. You got to admit it to yourself. I've admitted it, and I'm getting better for that. Those are 10 songs we all love deep down, or have loved. Just might not want to admit it in one way or another. I'm Ian Billen with Soundsy, and see you next time. Out of here.